What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We did take an extended almost 4-month break, a little over a 4-month break. I got burnt out on YouTube, and the leagues that I was, not the leagues in general, but like 2 of the leagues that I was a part of, I was not enjoying. And so I really did not want to record for those regardless. But as you can see, we are back for the next season of the WPF. This is season 5. This is with the updated DLC moves for all the Pokemon as well, which you will see some of in this first battle. I mean, not battle. I mean this draft video here. We sort of moved up. We did move into the B division, which is the best division, of course. But there was a new division added, which is S. So there's S, A, B, C, D, and we did move from C to B, which is kind of like the new C, but that's okay. So there is going to be a good amount of new people in this division. Let's say majority, because there also is going to be 18-person divisions, which caused a little bit of issue on our early round snipes, but oddly enough didn't cause all that much problems near the end. We got a horrible first pick placement. Let's go ahead and get into that. We did get pick 16 out of 18. Pick 16 out of 18. There was things I knew would never make it to me, like Coco and Bulu. I didn't really want Bulu, but I mean things like that. Some of these Pokemon that have all these new moves added to them, I knew were never going to make it to me. But I thought maybe some value picks would fall to me because maybe people want to try the new things out. For instance, Celesteela was falling down the board so far, and so was Melmetal. 2 things that I definitely want to try. Celesteela or Melmetal went like 3 or 4 picks in front of me, which sucked. And like it wasn't even part of their plan. They just said, "Oh, well, that's cool. Melmetal fell to me." I'm like, "Oh my god." Okay, Melmetal gone, and then Steela fell to 15th. They took it 1 pick in front of me. Like, come on, how close can you freaking get? So the pairing that I did want didn't end up happening, so I was like, well, I'm going to take what I think is the best Mon available in these first few picks. As this Mon did get some new moves. Now let me look it up real quick. Let's see if I can find the thing real quick. I'm trying to find the list that has the new attacks. No. That's okay. Because I think the tier list has some of them. Should have had this prepared. Where is it? Right there. Okay. So moving on to our first pick, I got what I felt like was the best thing that we could get value wise. We picked up Mega Diancie. Now it has always been available as somewhat of a mixed option if you wanted to run Diamond Storm on it, because Diamond Storm it's pretty busted of a move because you get a chance to get a +2 defense. But now it can really run either physical or special, because it gets play rough, it gets body press if it gets those defense boosts, which is nuts, and it gets a bunch of new moves like Encore. I think it's like Endeavor or something like that. I can't remember it exactly. I tried to look it up, but that's okay. So a really nice pick, in my opinion. It's very fast. It hits like a freaking truck. Gets Stealth Rocks if we need it. Has lots of different sets that it can run. I mean, it gets all kinds of crazy setup moves. And Diamond Storm Body Press is kind of busted on this thing. As well as it getting Play Rough. Play Rough is awesome on this fairy. Moving along, again, it's just a couple picks later. I'm just trying to see what the best available Pokemon left is. And this fell all the way down into round 2, which is crazy because this thing usually goes very early. But I guess with the new moves, everybody wanted to try out new things. So we did go ahead and pick up something to negate our ground weakness on this Mega Dynasty. And we've got our Lando T. Lando T was available in the round 2, which was freaking awesome. And you might see a trend going on. Okay, so we have a quad weak to steel on Mega Dynasty and a quad weak to ice on our Lando T. I didn't purposefully do this. It just seemed to work out like, well, what types do I need? Okay, I need this type and this type. Oh, well, this Pokemon has both of those. And so Lando T just negates a lot of the issues that Mega Dynasty has, notably in the ground weaknesses, as well as gives us another rocker and gives us a defogger as well, and a very solid choice scarf user. It's the reason why I picked it. As well as it intimidates. It intimidates on those steel type moves, because a lot of steel moves are physical. Moving along into our next pick, this is what I'm talking about, where it just worked out. I saw in tier 2, I was like, what's the best tier 2 steel that I can get? I don't remember if Scissor was there at the point. I don't think it was. I think it was gone by now. Could be way wrong on that one. I don't remember. But there's only 2 in tier 2A, because they are split into A and B. And we've got Ferrothorn. Another good combination of Pokemon that I can flip around here if I need to, like Fire Weakness. I can go into Diancie. I mean, it's not a great switch in, but before I Mega, I could swap into Diancie on Fire moves. Ice moves for Lando T. Ferrothorn can eat fairly well. I mean, if they're not just like stab, choice specs, modest ice beams, Ferrothorn can probably take some ice moves. As well as those steel moves very easily. It's going to be very hard for people to run physical attackers against my team with like Ferrothorn and Lando T sitting there. As well, gives us access to spikes, gives us speed control with Thunder Wave. I really need speed control, and we'll get to that a little bit later. And I just really like the defensive typing that we get between this grass and steel, and we're starting to work out our cores between our fairy steel for the Dragon Fairy Steel core, and then we started on our grass for the Fire Water Grass. And then so I'm looking down. I really wanted Arcanine, which was tier 2B, but it was just a little too expensive. I felt like it was a little too expensive, and this Pokemon I've been wanting to use for a really long time. I'm way off. That's the next pick. Idiot. Okay, so I'm looking, and it's available that you can draft 3 tier 1s, because Lando T obviously is tier 1, Mega Diancie is tier 1, and I'm looking at the points wise, and I'm like, holy crap, I think I can afford another tier 1. And Como is still sitting there in tier 1A, and it gets access, or it's not banned. Clangorous Soul is allowed on this thing. The most busted like set in Ranbats almost. Throat Spray, Clangorous Soul. You get an Omni boost, and you get a +1 in special attack, and then you just destroy their team. Like, minus Focus Sash Pokemon, what is going to stop this thing? Nothing. Nothing is going to stop Como getting its Clangorous Soul boost, or Throat Spray, Clangorous Soul, something along those lines. As well as it's I think it was in C-Div 2nd place in the kill leader, because you can run it extremely bulky. You can run a weakness policy. You can run it Autotomize. You can run it Dragon Dance. You can run it like Throat Spray, Clanging Scales. I mean, there's just so many different sets this thing can get. It's very versatile, and it has so many coverage moves. And it gives us another quad weakness to Fairy, which we can deal with Ferrothorn fairly easy. Because almost no Fairy move is going to even touch Ferrothorn. I mean, a lot of them get Mystical Fire now, which we could swap, into Diancie or right back into Como if we need to. Moving along though, now is where I believe, yes, we get into our Salazzle pick. I really wanted Arcanine, but because we went with 3 tier 1s, I could not afford Arcanine really without having to like put myself in the position where I have to keep getting lower and lower tier Pokemon over and over. But Salazzle is really nice. I really enjoy the sub, protect, toxic, stall with this Salazzle because it can toxic anything and just stall out anything that isn't basically has a substitute or like a rest talk set. And it's a pretty solid speed tier as well. I like what I get out of Salazzle. Moving along though, I kind of wanted webs with this team. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I think it is necessary to slow down like some Scarfers people could bring, and then those like really fast like Zero Aura type Pokemon. But Araquanid got sniped like 5 or 6 picks before me, and because I really needed a water type as well. I need a solid water, and I'm looking in these tiers, and there's like I have 2 options. I have what I'm gonna pick, and I have Vaporeon, and I don't like how passive Vaporeon is. It's just way too passive. It probably would have been nice to get it for Wish support, but that's okay. We picked up Jellicent, which gives us a water absorb abuser, just in case we had to face Dracovish. I mean, it's not why I got it, but it's extremely helpful. Helps out again on another one of our weaknesses from Mega Diancie, being in water. As well as being very bulky, as we needed bulk on this team fairly well. Like, yes, we do have Ferrothorn, but it doesn't have recovery. Recovery on Jellicent was necessary for us as well. And it got some new moves as well that make it pretty solid. Like Strength Sap on this thing. Strength Sap is a busted move, one of the new moves where you lower their attack while getting your HP back, and it's very strong. Moving along though, I needed a solid tier 4 Pokemon now because I'm trying to make sure I can get the best of what I can get currently, because I'm picking on like almost a wheel pick, and I'm trying to see what could be gone by the time it gets back to my pick, because my picks are few and far between. So like I picked Jellicent, knowing that it probably wouldn't make it back to me, which I think it was a snipe on someone. And now I'm looking at tier 4 and I'm like, okay, I don't have any Rapid Spin, and I don't have, or like I do have a good amount of special attackers so far. I mean, Como could be both, Mega Diancie can be both, but I'm sitting pretty high on the special attacker, especially with the plan of what I have moving forward with some Pokemon. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab Komala. You guys have seen Komala on this channel many times. I absolutely adore this thing's Last Resort, or Sleep Talk, Last Resort, Choice Band, or Choice Scarf set. As well as this thing gives us a somewhat okay bulky Wish set, as well as a Rapid Spinner if we need it, as well as immunity to what the word I'm looking for, status. Immunity to status, as we don't really have a way of getting rid of status on this team currently, and so an immunity to it is pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. As well as I just really enjoy Komala. Tier 4 there's a lot of options for things that I love using. Like there was Ditto I was thinking about. Let's see what else was in here. Licky was an option, but I think I got sniped from us. I considered Magneton here to trap opposing steals and help deal with water, as I like using Magneton as well. Ooh, sorry, I had to yawn. What else? I think there's some lower tier 4s that were kind of nice as well. But moving along, we picked up Obstagoon, as that was the highest valued. I think it's tier 2. No, I believe it's tier 3 then. Where's the goon? Oh, and it's a horrible picture, but that's the best I could find to put up here. Obstagoon, there it is. It was the best tier 3 that I could find, as it's also kind of another status. It could soak up status as well because of its guts. It will ignore water types. I was noticing that I was kind of having trouble on this team with water types. Now I could be immune with Jellicent. Salazzle could like Toxic Stall him if I was behind a sub already. But like Scalds were fairly interesting against my team if they got burns. So Obstagoon being able to ignore a burn and then just break through waters, as well as just things in general, and gives us a parting shot, because now we can have Kamala gets U-turn, Lando T U-turn as well, and then Obstagoon with parting shot. We can get a little bit of momentum going along on this team. And now in what league is this? In the Pokefinium, a league that I joined recently that I might record the next season for. I picked up a team that someone had quit the season early on. I tried this Pokemon out a lot because I haven't used it all that much. But we go ahead and draft Electrode. Its speed tier is one of the fastest in the game. It gets access to screens, Volt Switch, Explosion if we need to. Thunderwave is extremely important for us as well. But I really liked the value in a tier 5 Electrode. I can see why it wouldn't be tier 4, but I do think it's like too good for tier 5. Like there's a lot of garbage Pokemon in tier 5, and then there's a lot of like value things. I mean like Granbull is sitting there in tier 5, amazing, and it's sitting there right next to a Graveler. And right next to a Grottle and a Grovyle. It's much better to have. Electrode's very nice to me, as well as it gives us our electric type, giving us help with those flying and water types. Next pick, I really wanted Aromatisse here to double up on fairies for us and give us another wish option, because I don't really want to use Komala for wish if I don't have to. But sorry, I yawned again. Aromatisse did get sniped from us like a pick or two before, so that hurt extremely bad. So looking into it, I was looking at what like my best option was, and I believe this was tier 3 as well, or is it tier 2? I think it was like a lower tier 3. Yeah, it's a lower tier 3. So it's tier 3B option, because a lot of things were gone at this point. And like I kind of was thinking about Cinescorch, but I already have a decent fire type, so it gives us a huge weakness to rocks. Doublade was just a little too passive for me. Durant, we already have a steel type. Phalanx, we already had Komao, and they basically do the exact same thing. I was kind of considering Gastrodon, but I already have like a water immune water type, and I already have a ground type. Don't need it. I really probably would have drafted Gligar here if it wasn't for us already having Lando T. Let's see what else was there down here that I kind of liked. Surfetched. I kind of like Surfetched. If it wasn't for us again already having a fighting type, I definitely would have taken Surfetched here. And Whimsicott going undrafted was interesting to me. I could have swore someone would pick that thing up, but excuse me, I keep yawning. We do go ahead and pick up Cloyster. It gives us a monster of a setup Pokemon with Shell Smash, as well as it giving us a Spiker and a Toxic Spiker as well, and another Rapid Spin Pokemon. Having multiple Rapid Spin options on the team is very helpful for if we need to run like a Wish set on Komala, or like like one of those Choice Banded sets I was talking about earlier. As well as Cloyster gets some new moves that make it, I say, somewhat viable in the bulky department. Like it actually does get recovery with Life Dew now. Someone actually beat the crap out of me. We had tryouts for this new season, and I was a tryout captain, seeing if people could make it. And someone beat the ever-loving crap out of me with I think it was like Toxic, Life Dew, Rapid Spin. I don't remember what the last move was. It might have been Spikes or something like that on their Cloyster. Beat the ever-loving crap out of me with it. First time I'd ever. I was definitely. I had all kinds of like scarfers set up for a shell smashed cloister. But anyways, for our last pick, I really wanted webs on the team, and I really needed a psychic type, and I would enjoy having a bug type. It was not necessary, but it'd been nice. But so I'm looking on the team, on the tier list here, and there's really only a handful. Like Hypno, no, thank you. Hetrim, no, way too slow, not bulky enough. I kind of considered Raboot. Raboot's kind of nice. I've seen some battles with it recently, because Raboot does get Libero in this. Cinderace does not. I even kind of considered Shedinja as well, to force people to prep for Shedinja each week or just lose to it. What else was available down here that was kind of nice? I think Swoobat was in here, or that might have been tier 4. Yeah, I think Swoobat was in here. I would have considered it. I kind of like Swoobat. But I decided on Dottler, because Dottler would give us webs. It has all kinds of setup options like Iron Defense, and it gets Recover and Calm Mind and Body Press. I mean, all kinds of great things. But it was picked just a few Pokemon ahead of us again, and I'm like, that sucks so bad. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and pick up Duosion. Duosion has basically the same Pokemon, except for it doesn't get sticky webs, and its abilities are much better. If we want to ignore hazards and toxic, we can run Magic Guard. If we want to be like a defensive, what's the word I'm looking for? Pivot Pokemon, we can run Regenerator on it. And if someone has a Amoonguss on their team, we can run Overcoat to ignore its spores. But overall, that is our team right there. Only getting one new Pokemon on the whole team. That was kind of interesting. And only getting maybe 2 Pokemon that actually got updated moves, like Mega Dance. Got a bunch of updated moves. And then, like, I know Cloyster got a little bit, and Jellicent got a little bit. But I'm going to try my hardest in this one to show out, because it's a bunch of new people, and I want to do really good, because I feel like this team is pretty solid, and I've got like that energy back to try and do well in this, and this is our only league currently, so I'm going to put a lot of effort into it. If you guys like this, please drop a like down below, and subscribe if you like what you saw. I'll still put this up there, because let's see where I'm at now. I don't know if y'all remember, but way back when we had our last video, I was saying I will put up a house reveal, or walk you guys through my house and my setup if we get to 150 subscribers. We're 9 away from 100. When I started that, I think we were at like 55. So let's keep this going, guys. Let's keep this going. I will see you guys in the week 1 battle, which will be shortly. Peace out.